You said, how you experienced the session showed you that you do have or did have PTSD.
Hmm.
Um, any other general thoughts about just what like an average session is like? Or
I feel like my general path was not the common loop that people are in. I feel like with Cherie, where like I had so much tangible physical things that needed to change, like not just roadblocks, but like actual things in my life that were really like, this job is overwhelming, you don't want to do it anymore, but you're the owner of the company, so like that's not a, you don't just go in and quit your job and go get another job on that one. You got to build a whole team around you, transition it, keep from letting all the clients down, just so I feel like my journey was more like do a couple jumps, have some big realizations, and then apply what we learned from that. Okay, and now that thing's out of the way, let's go do a couple more jumps. Now let's go apply that. So it's kind of like I went one by one, if that makes sense, of like chopping away at, okay, like why do I constantly feel like I'm in trouble? Why do I not accept myself for my cannabis usage? Why, and like kind of just going back through all those different traumatic experiences and recognizing like, okay, now that that's out of the way, this other part that I couldn't find the answer for, now it makes it's really clear what I need to do about this in my life. Um, so it's a little bit different. I feel like where I think the typical path is a lot more like go through a bunch of experiences and then kind of sum it up from there. Whereas I think mine was more like, I don't know, like I feel like probably 70% of my sessions were shared with Cherie were like not actually jumps and focus on PTSD. It was more like the mechanics of applying what we had learned. So,
yeah,
um,
learning how to live differently. Because really, the jumping is a small piece. I mean, it is important, but it's just a small piece. So
yeah, yeah, and I get that now. Like seeing my wife go through the process and stuff. It's like everybody has different styles and approaches to the way that they live. Even so, like in my case, I've always like been like go go go, like let's take action now. So for me, it was like I didn't want to stay in that space of exploring and learning and then go figure it out. I was like, okay, what can I do right now with that piece of information? So I'm kind of glad it worked out that way, because I don't think things would have ended up the way they are otherwise, because it was like piece by piece where we first figured out, okay, um I don't like this job. How can I go about that? Maybe I could sell the company. Oh, that's not going to work because any of these people I'm talking to about buying the company expect me to work there full time for 3 or 4 years. Okay, well, maybe you know somebody else that could buy a part of the company. Maybe you don't have to sell the whole thing. And okay, maybe we could do that. Put that deal together. Okay, now I want to move back home. Well, there's no houses available back home, and my mom had back surgery, and they kind of want to get out of their house. So like literally kind of manifesting those situations along the way of like, how am I going to get back home? And that kind of snowballing up into, well, now that I sold the company, I could actually buy my parents' house, and now they can go get the better suited property for their current state of life. I can be set up to have kids now, which is the next step for me and Tara. So like kind of did this kind of crazy shell game over the last 15 months of like get this out of the way and then do this thing and then now get this out of the way and now do this thing and then get this out of the way and so on. Um so it's been a crazy period for sure for us.